Okay. Hello, everyone. Do we have a new president yet? Almost? Okay, we're not going to talk politics today. Don't gloat. He won. The latest news is that he's got over the top. Oh, I feel sorry for the Vietnamese. $290. So it's Philadelphia plus Nevada. I've been following the news. Been losing some sleep recently. So stressed out. What do we do when we're stressed out? Meditate. That's right. Life is supposed to be overwhelming, yes? It gets more and more overwhelming as we get older. And that's the nature of life. And the only way to deal with that is to meditate. There's no other way. That's more effective than meditation. So that's why our tradition of when we train you, Chan, about Chan, we ask you to train yourself every day, an hour a day, an hour a day. And it turns out my disciples who got busier and busier as they progress higher, they discovering themselves that they need to meditate in order to keep up with the demands from the master. Okay, that's the only way. Okay, because they keep on complaining to me that I'm so busy, I don't have time to do anything. I don't say anything. I let them die. And then eventually, if they don't die, they realize that the only way to keep up is to meditate. I meditate every day, otherwise I die. Okay. So do we still need to wait for the courts to own? I keep on drifting back to politics. This is not healthy. I'm too stressed out. Listen, we're gonna go into Chan Chi when? Fo Chi begins when? November, so the end of the month. So we have 3 more weeks. Yes? Okay, we have plenty of time. So hopefully we'll be done with Master Heng Lai's Chan videos. When you watch these things, again, I need to be honest with you. This is my first time as well. I never watched this video itself. So, but when you watch these videos, remember, this is the first time that Chan is in America, in the United States. And these people are the first generation where they learn Chan directly from a Chan master. Master HsuanHua is one of the best, I know. I can't think of anyone else better than he is. Okay? So these people were trained by him. And therefore, they have an advantage over us, okay? Because we're not trained by him. However, they also have a disadvantage, which is what? Chan is an Asian thing. Yeah, it's from India, from China. This is America, not China. So that's why, I'm sorry, but Caucasians are disadvantaged because you don't have the DNA for. See, we Asians, we got our DNA from our parents, who got it from our great parents, and so forth and so forth. Therefore, we have this tradition of Chan thing. So when we pick up Chan, we learn Chan, we pick it up a lot quicker than non-Asian people. I'm gloating. Okay, we need to celebrate that thing later. Okay, so anyway, you disciples, you Sanghans in particular, and disciples who aspire to teach Chan, okay, in the future, I challenge you to challenge yourself that one day when you find yourself committing to teaching Chan, to be better than these people. How's that? Okay? Challenge yourself. Okay? That's the first step. And the next step is be better than me. Okay, shall we continue? We need to finish these videos. Any questions? Okay, very good. Korea is not up yet, huh? Okay, they're still sleeping. Why do they sleep so much? So Korean. Any Koreans today? Go for it. It's not Korean, it's American. What are you talking about? Oh, down here, okay.
等他出定以后吧，尽管香港还不是特别冷，但是那个石头的寒气全部都浸入了师傅的那个腿上。从此以后，师傅走路再也不能像他过去正常情况下那种走路一样。
He says it took him a complete day at least to try just to get his legs out of the lotus, just to move out. It was that bad.
他说花了一整天的时间，慢慢把腿从这个双盘拿下来，花了一天的时间，就是完全当时腿已经就是说僵在那个地方，不能动。
But he says that we're young. We were young. I think back then I was like 20 or something. He says, you guys can take it. You can try out sitting up at night, Dharma, ascetic practice, and it's very good for your cultivation, and it keeps your chi right, especially if you stay in the lotus.
Did he become enlightened? How come I hear an echo? His voice is different. What happened? 1 week and now he became enlightened? Magic. Maybe it must be such enlightenment.
Sleeping. And he says, you'll have a lot of problems at first, but if you can do it, it really is auspicious practice.
说那个师傅说非常鼓励他们，当时因为来法师们都在20多岁，非常年轻，说你们非常年轻，这个好，如果能够。
You know, I love his eyebrows. They're so beautiful. Look at that. It droops down like this, like Einstein's eyebrows. You notice that? Einstein's eyebrows are like this. I always loved Einstein's eyebrows. Never mind.
晚上不睡觉，这么做打着那个双盘的话，非常的好，对你的修炼非常好。因为气这个气哈，这个气正确了，就会进步非常快。
So a lot of us would just stay in the Buddha hall all night instead of going to our rooms. And the old Gold Mountain had 2 floors, 3 stories. Yeah, the third floor the men slept up there, and Shifu had a room there. And the second floor were women. We actually had the men and women living in the same building, and the women stayed on the second floor. And the women didn't really want to practice that as I remember right. Our bhikshunis, they weren't too keen on that practice, so they never did stay down there. Tried to stay. I think a couple of them told us that they tried it up in their rooms, but they didn't want to stay in the hall. So.
那时候来法师他们很多人晚上都 做这个不捣蛋不睡觉。他说当时呢，他们有3层楼，第3层呢是他们男众和师父，然后第2层呢是女众，然后他记得好像没有什么比丘尼去尝试不捣蛋，在这个禅堂。他说但是呢，后来他听几个比丘尼说，他们在自己的宿舍里头，晚上练不捣蛋。
So we tried it, and everybody had different experience. I fell off the bench a couple of times. And then former Hongzhou, in the middle of the night, had a dream. He started singing, "I'm really lucky." That was pretty funny. So I was sitting there and he's singing, "I'm really lucky." He's wake him up and he goes, "Oh, I was having a dream."
来法师说他当时有几次摔下来了。You fall down from the bench to the ground. 来法师有几次倒下来了，然后还有另外一个人很巨哈，很左，然后呢，居然有一天唱起歌来了。说我非常幸运，那首歌，然后大家把他们摇醒，我在梦中呢。
And I had a really crazy dream one night. It was a very weird dream, and it's so weird. I had to tell Shufu about it, but it was. We were asleep, and I was talking to former HsuanHua, and I said, "Hey, let's try dying. See what that's like. Just stop our hearts." So what happened in this dream? I told Shufu about it later. And then it got really scary in the dream. Oh, we better stop. This is getting really very dangerous. I don't think I want to keep doing this. And then I told Shufu about that. He says, "Yeah." He says, "You're getting close to birth and death. The matters of birth and death, you're getting close to them."
来法师有一天晚上说，他做了一个非常奇怪的梦，梦见呢，他对那个恒观法师说：“我们去试验一下死亡是什么感觉。”然后他就后来觉得这个梦他有点恐惧，觉得这个梦，然后就去问师父。师父说：“哎呦，你现在我们很接近这个死亡点了。”
Can I have a
所以说，也就是很快要生死。It means you are ready to ending the birth and death.
No, I'm not ready. But he says you're starting to get close to understanding the nature of birth.
OK， 那意思就是说，你们快认识到这种死亡、生和死的意义了，就快接近 understand， 快接近理解什么是生和死了。That's still quite a lucky dream.
Yeah, we had a lot of very clear dreams when you sit up at night. And your legs, we were able to stay in the lotus late at night. I was able to anyway. Because by then you're so tired, your body stops fighting and it relaxes. It just wants to sleep. So all the muscles in your legs relax and your body just, I can stay in the lotus comfortably. There's no pain. Just all goes. So that was really, really great.
他说他那个当时他们晚上的时候，双盘哈，就是这个莲花座打的这个莲花座，越来越舒服，到了后来非常舒服，但是非常舒适的时候呢，他就想睡觉了，那时候就想睡觉，就困了，就睡着了这种过程。
And so we still, we still do normal ceremonies, get up for alcohol, go back.
但是他们还是做这种平常的这些，就是说仪式。Do you walking also at midnight or something? Walking meditation, just sit down, not walking.
No. Well, it depends if you're doing a chan or if you're just doing regular. Even we still practice sitting up at night even during regular days. But during a chan session, we went up to midnight and then they just hit fish, and everybody. Some people go up to the rooms, other people stay in the Buddha hall, and they just sleep until I think it was 3:30 or something, and they hit the boards again. And and during the normal days without Chan, it was the same kind of thing. We listened to Shufu's lecture. Shufu used to lecture 3 times a day in those days. He lectured after lunch, he lectured in the evening, he lectured in the afternoon sometimes, or sometimes he'd lecture in the morning before lunch. So it was, he was pretty intense.
那个就是说，他们那个时候还是，就是平常的话，他们虽然晚上不捣蛋，但是他们白。
So you see, apparently, Master HsuanHua, when he taught them Chan, he spoke Dharma quite often. When I learned Chan at the city 10,000 Buddhas, they only played his tapes once a day at night for an hour, which includes translation as well. So we heard the Chinese tapes, and then someone would translate that into English for us. So basically half an hour of instructional talks. Whereas when Master HsuanHua was alive, when he was training these people, he was speaking Dharma for them quite often, apparently, up to 3 times a day. Okay, wasn't sure. I'm not sure whether it's when he was beginning to teach them Chan or later, but I can understand why he was talking to them so often. This is one of the advantages that they had over us, in that Master HsuanHua trained them in the Wei-Yang style of Chan. And in Wei-Yang training, unlike, for example, Hinayana training, Wei-Yang training of Chan, we put a lot of emphasis on Dharma talks, instructional talks. It's a real time saver. It cuts through. And it turns out that to me personally, it's more important than sitting. Yeah. So what happened is when we were doing our Chanqi at Lu Mountain Temple 5-6 years ago, we would sit like we do nowadays. It's the same schedule. But every now and then, maybe once or maybe every other week, I would have I would go to the dining hall and talk to my students. I don't know, you remember that. And people look forward to that because it gave them an excuse not to cross their legs. So we talk for 2-3 hours, maybe even 4 or 5 hours. We gap and gap and gap, and they like it. And people thought it's like Master is lazy, he doesn't cross his legs. And now if Master doesn't cross his legs, then we don't have to cross our legs either. So they were lazy. I didn't say anything because when they're listening to me in the dining hall, they're sitting on the chair with the legs down. I was sitting on the chair with my legs crossed. So anyway, it's funny, something I stumbled upon because I realized some of my students back then were, how should we put it? Wimps? They couldn't take the pain. So I would use those Dharma talks as an excuse for them not to cross their legs. And they loved it. So they, every 2 weeks or so, they look forward to it. They say, "Where's Master? Is he in the dining hall?" They're asking each other, And now I heard from from him that my master used to do that as well. So he says, you see, did you hear that? He says, it's no fixed schedule really. Every day is one, the schedule is one Dharma talk a day, right? And he says a Shufu sometimes would talk twice a day or 3 times a day. You see that? You know why? Because his students needed the instructional talks. So that's the advantage they have over us. Master Hsuan look at them and say, okay, it's time for me to give you instructions. You got that? And that's why it beats the Hinayana style of grinding it out, because they keep on grinding it out year after year. Whereas when Master Hsuan wants to give you special tips, he would talk to you casually like that, okay? But actually, it's the Wei-Yan style of training. Yeah, cool? You learn so much from listening to these people. Just listen to them, pay attention to their reminiscing of what Master Hsuan did. Is very useful, okay? Don't fall asleep. Questions? Unfortunately, when we do it here, unless my legs hurt, I don't feel like talking to you.
白天的话，如果是别的那些人仪式，他们还是照样参加。
290。
别的ceremony他们还是参加。只是晚上不倒班。但是呢，如果是禅呢，如果是白天的仪式也是禅修的话，那么很多人就是说，到了晚上，他们回去睡觉，然后他们还继续留在禅堂。但是3点钟的时候，木鱼一敲，这些人又出来又开始打坐。他说那个时候师父呢，每天给他们3次的开示，早晨、中午、晚上。
I had a lot of trouble listening to his lectures because the master talked really dynamically, in Chinese, of course. And then you have translators. Well, our translators were still learning how to translate. You know, a lot of them didn't know Mandarin very well. Or we'd have somebody who was a Mandarin speaker but didn't know English very well. It's either one of those 2 cases. So when they did the translation, it was always very stilted, very stiff. You lose all the energy that Shifu had when he spoke it. Like when he was talking about 6 Patriarch Sutra or whatever it was, you could tell he was really into it. I mean, he was really dynamically explaining what's going on and very strong. But of course, the translator was trying to stumble through what he was saying. So they were going, blah, 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 you know. And I just go, I can barely stay awake through that. So I kept falling asleep and nodding. So I eventually had to just stand up during lectures. So I tried just, just stand up.
Why? Why couldn't he stay awake? Anyone? Too much thinking. Is what happened is that he listened to Master HsuanHua's Dharma talk and he spoke in Chinese. And I don't understand it. And the translation in English is not that good, or the Chinese person does really understand the Chinese instruction from my teacher. Okay? So that's why it's a lot of processing going on in the translation, in these listeners as well. And so what do? What are you supposed to do? What would you do? If that's your problem, what would you do? What should you do? You have the best Chan teacher in the world, speaking Dharma for you every day, teaching you. You go and learn Chinese, that's what I would do. Right? You don't say, I don't understand. Why don't you get someone better? Even if they get anyone better, that anyone better can still not understand Chan. Okay? because the Chinese don't understand China anymore. It's a fact. Okay? You better learn Chinese yourself. If your teacher is Chinese, go learn Chinese. Okay? A teacher is Vietnamese like me, go learn English. Because the Vietnamese is horrible. Okay? Do whatever it takes to be able to understand him directly without going through translation. Does it make sense? It's just common sense. These people are so sheltered. That's why I keep on telling my students, yeah, your English has to be better because I explain in English. Okay? I explain to you in Vietnamese, you're going to go into demonic states. In Chinese, even worse. Double jeopardy, if you will. So, my teacher is so compassionate. He doesn't put pressure on his students. Too bad. 可惜不是糟糕，可惜很可怜，是糟糕。Too bad here has it's pity for them.
那个时候师父讲法的时候，师父讲的非常好。
It's too soft on them. That's why they softies.
怎么翻译啊？我心里知道深度，对。就是他非常话讲的非常有深度，也很深刻。但是呢，翻译那个时候才开始学，他们才开始学翻译。有些人呢英文很好，但是中文也不行；有些人中文很好，英文也不行。所以翻译的呢就结结巴巴的，反正完全不能把师父的那个讲的那些意思呢，很传神的把它翻译出来。所以来法师他能感觉到师父讲的那个东西非常深刻，非常宏大，但是翻译出来就不行。然后说他经常就想睡觉，然后就没办法，就为了克服自己不要睡着了，就站到最后面去站着听师父讲话。
And I felt really bad because I could not for the life of me figure out how to learn Chinese. Everybody else was learning it. All of our monks and nuns, all the Westerners, they're all learning. At least they're learning the basics, basic Mandarin. But I couldn't do it. I tried to do it. I had this kind of block, what do you call it? Karmic obstruction with Chinese. I just couldn't get it. They tell you, oh, this is the third tone, fourth tone, first tone. It's all the same sound. I couldn't get through it. And Shirbu used to laugh and say, why are you doing that? Why are you having so much trouble? You used to be Chinese last night. Stupid.
然后那个时候大家都学中文，而且很积极学这个普通话和南文啊。然后是我不知道什么，反正脑袋里面有个地方被这个罩住了，怎么学都学不会。他说啊，真是很蠢。他师父就说怎么回事啊？你前一世还是个中国人，怎么这一世一点都学不会中文？没法是觉得在他看来，什么一生、二生、三生、四生都是一样的。
And we had lay people would bring their families. They'd have their kids and their babies and everything. They would be crawling around the Buddha hall during Shifu's lectures. Shifu was everything was Zutai, everything was fine. He continued the lecture, and which is unheard of in China. They would never do that, but we were. It was like very. We had. I remember Sari. She was Anna, and she was very young. That was Ron Epstein's daughter. And she was just a baby. She was running around in her diapers. And then Guofan, she was about the same age, and they were running around. She was running around in her little diapers, and they were running around the Buddha hall while Shifu was lecturing and laughing. And then they climb up on where Shifu was sitting in the high seat, and they climb up into his lap. He used to hang them upside down, and they start giggling and laughing. They continue lecturing. That's how the lectures were.
那个讲 师父讲法的时候呢，有很多那个中国的那个就是居士家庭，就把那自己的小孩子带到那个禅堂去，什么果方啊这些，那个时候还穿着那个料布，就在就在那个讲堂里头跑来跑去，甚至有时候爬到那个师傅的那个椅子上去，然后师傅又把他们拽下来，然后吊着，哎呀，这些小孩高兴的不得了，然后把他们放下继续讲，反正觉得师傅觉得怎么都可以，很自在。说这个在中国好像还不行，我觉得在他们这里可以。
And so that went on like that, and it reminded me of the time when we had people would come, they'd come to to Shifu and stuff during the holidays and what have you. And they'd bring their little newborns, their little babies. They'd only be a month or so old or even younger than that. And they'd bring them, so Shifu would bless them, you always want to bring your shahaites, And Shifu, and I always notice when they bring up a little baby like that, the little baby would look up at Shifu like that and try to reach like that. And after a while, it dawned on me what's going on. They're actually, Shifu always says when you're very small, when you're very young, when you're first born, you don't have a lot of obstructions in terms of your psychic obstructions. Your mind hasn't closed down yet. You're very open. And everything is unfiltered, comes right into you. And they're obviously looking at it as golden aura. They see it, and they're trying to grab it. And we don't see it yet, but they see it. And it's always amazing. You can see it. I saw it time and time again. These really young little kids, they come in, and the mother would bring them close to your It's pretty amazing.
那时候有很多家庭呢，他们刚刚有了小孩，大概还不到1个月或者1个月的时候，他们就抱到佛教抱到师傅那儿去，希望得到师傅的祝福。师傅呢，当然永远都是为小孩子加持他们，加倍他们。这个时候来法师就发现了一个现象，而且观察到很多次这种现象，就是小孩子一看到师傅的时候，那个眼睛一下就放大，然后就用手去抓，然后呢，那个来法师就说那个师傅说的那个小孩刚刚生下来的时候吧，脑袋里面没有被很多东西障碍住，那么他的那个思想是打开的呢，他就能够看到光啊，这些他就能看到光，或者他能看到师傅那个带着那个光圈啊，所以他们小孩子他就觉得很好看，他就去抓。来法师说他看过很多次，都是同样的这种现象。
Yeah, reminds me of the master used to tell us. One time he told me that, because we were sitting there collecting red envelopes. They were sitting there, after it's one of these big ceremonies, I forget what we were. Then people would come up and bow and circle a red envelope and so on. And he would be talking a little bit. And then he would say, when I see a new person, I don't look at anything, whether they're a man or a woman or a child. He says, I just look right at their Buddha nature and see what's obstructing that Buddha nature and try to help them that way. He says, I don't look at anything else. I don't even pay attention to how they look or how big they are, how small they are, whether they're a man or a woman. He just doesn't look at discrimination. He just focused right on their true nature.
那个时候呢，很多人都到师傅那儿去啊，去的时候就是说，来法师们在旁边收集那个红包，然后师傅就告诉来法师们就说，师傅看这些人呐，看这些小孩或者大人，他不管他是男是女是老是少，他看他们的佛性。而且看是什么东西障碍了他们，不能够去接近他们的那个佛性，然后呢，怎么去帮助他们？ 看离他们自己离他们的佛性有多远，帮助他们，看是什么障碍出来，让他们自己不能找到他们的佛性，从而帮助他们。
Yeah, he's like that. Not only with humans, but he's that with all living beings. Because every morning he'd call and say, "You have time?" I said, "Yes, yes, yes." I need to have a ride. I'll come pick you up. So I go pick the abbot up. He was out in the evidence, and I tell him, "We have a couple of more mice we caught last night." He says, "Okay, bring the mice." So I bring the mice and go pick up Shifu, and Abbott was driving back to Gold Mountain. But we always had to go through Golden Gate Park, and we did that. So we'd stop. He said, "Oh, this is a good spot here. We'll stop." And we stop, and then it's okay. You can let the mice out. And we have these little traps. You open the door, the mice run out, and then Shifu would just recite for one as they're going out. How's the thing? So he was like that with everywhere we go. Every time we'd see a living being of any kind, just recite for it.
师父不仅是眷顾这个人哈，这个人类啊，这些哈，就是刚才说到的这些人，他对这个所有的这个生命啊，都有这种眷顾。比如说有一次那个
So they were Master HsuanHua was sending rats over to the neighbors. Huh? He frees them in the park, Golden Gate Park. What's the difference between that and just throw it over the fence to the neighbors? Huh? I just wonder, how do you feel about that? It's so Chinese. I mean, you drive so far, go to the park, throw it there, and they go to someone's house eventually, yes? To me, being Americanized, I'm more efficient. I just throw it over there to someone you like, a neighbor you really like. Anyway, going back to the comment that Master Heng Lai couldn't pick up Chinese, he misses the point completely. It's not about success. It's about whether you want it badly enough, you keep on trying. Eventually, you'll succeed. He gave up too soon. I've seen so many of you who understand Chinese, but they speak Chinese with a very funny accent, like me. We understand Chinese, right? It's just we can't speak it. Big deal. The main thing is to understand Master HsuanHua's Chinese instructions. That's the purpose. Don't need to speak it. See? That's why he misses a lot of instructions. Okay. One thing, when you listen to these things, you listen to people, this is technical stuff. You need to discern between facts versus inferences. Is that clear? You learn the facts. When he says, Master HsuanHua says, Master HsuanHua does, that's a fact, right? But but there are inferences where when you talk, you have to be very careful. When you talk, when making an inference is what you think, not the facts. So you should precede that with "I think," or "He appears," and so forth. When he said that Master HsuanHua look at the baby's nature, what is that? A fact or an inference? Anyone? Blue.
Master, is that an inference?
Absolutely. Master HsuanHua looks at the baby's nature. with his eyes, right? He's a third party. He doesn't have the same set of eyes. Number one. Number two, he doesn't know what he's talking about. The baby's nature. How does he know it's a baby? It's like Master HsuanHua is looking at the baby's nature. Clearly, it's an inference. Yes, Green.
Master, I forgot who this guy is. I've seen some more of the old videos, but is he a Mahayana master in California that was taught by the same master as you, Master HsuanHua?
No, he's much higher level than I am, much more senior. This is Master Heng Lai, who is a senior disciple of Master HsuanHua. He's something like 30, 40 years of Dharma age, of training under Master HsuanHua. And he resides at Snow Mountain in Seattle. It's a property they have. It's big. It's very nice. Lots of mosquitoes. I hate it.
Can I go there if I want to go, or I mean?
Sure, absolutely. But I don't think they're going to make you feel welcome. They're very exclusive. It's like, who are you? Where are you from? Wei Mountain Temple? Get out of here. Okay? They're like that. They're very brusque. Not easygoing and mellow like us. Yes, black. She's a spy.
From whom?
From that side.
Are you making an inference or are you making a fact?
It's a fact.
That's a foul fact, Master. Anyway, Master, earlier, Venerable Heng Lai mentioned that he had a dream and then he told Master HsuanHua about it. And then Master HsuanHua
I missed
said,
that completely. That's why I had to have.
okay.
Go ahead.
And then Master HsuanHua told him that yes, you were on the verge of death. So my question is,
Verge of what?
Death, birth and death.
What? Verge of what? Death. Oh, death. Okay.
He
Excuse
said
me.
it was a matter of birth and death.
Birth and death. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, do you have an explanation for why he were having that dream, or does that mean he were close to enlightened, or is that a priori to enlightenment? Do you have any good interpretation for that? Thank you.
I have no idea. You have to be very careful. I can comment about him. I wouldn't comment on Master HsuanHua. You understand the difference? He's making inferences like hell. Master HsuanHua, who knows what he's doing? I have no clues. I just laugh. That's all I can do. So the one thing you have to be careful with these sages is that they do things for a purpose. So when they, for example, he says he spoke Dharma for them 3 times a day, it's because at those precise times is the right time, it's right for certain people who were there. So he saved some time in their practice. Okay? These guys don't get it. They don't say, Master Shifu just, when they felt like he just spoke Dharma to us 2-3 times a day. The point being that he spoke at those times for specific people. These people don't understand it yet. Okay? It's the same thing. Even when he doesn't understand Chinese and he has to go through a translator, you think Master HsuanHua doesn't get it? Of course he does. Master HsuanHua doesn't need a translator. The translator does not need to be very accurate for Master HsuanHua to teach him. Agree or disagree? He'll find a way. He doesn't need to learn Chinese or understand Chinese. Even if the translator is, let's say the translator doesn't get the Chinese, the Chinese Chan instruction. Possible? Master Hsuan said something geared towards him, and the translation somehow goes to, to the East Coast. Okay, people. Don't you think Master Hsuan gets it? Of course he gets it. Why? How? How? How does he get it? He doesn't speak English. How does he know? Some active listeners. The rest of you go, I don't know. Yes, Green.
Because he's a high-level bodhisattva.
Very good. Keep at it. Anyone else? Yes. Blue.
Because he's their good knowing advisor.
Another nice one. Anyone else? Second chance. Why do you have so many handheld and you only have one to be shared with 20 people? What's wrong with you?
Because it's not
have a
about.
lot more handheld.
It's not about the words.
Fundraiser. Go ahead. Green.
Because it's not about the words.
Anyone else? It's killing me. You guys don't get it. Black. That's like these people. Yes. Black.
He has the five eyes and the 6 penetrations, so he could.
Yes. Finally, thank you. But so those of you who are not into spiritual penetrations, that I don't believe in spiritual penetrations, even if it's a Chinese thing. What's another reason? Huh? Very good. Yes. It's so Chinese. You guys are so into spiritual things.
I think when Master HsuanHua wants you to learn something, he really want to make you understand it.
Inference. Wrong. Yes. Anyone else? Because if the translation is wrong, or the translation is, he doesn't get the translation, okay? It doesn't matter. Master HsuanHua knows right away, because if this guy gets it, he'll change right there on the spot. He can tell right away, okay? When Master HsuanHua says something to you, because it's for a purpose, if you get it, you change right away, immediately, instantaneously. There's no need for translation. So he says, you can send the Master HsuanHua's energy, so, and the translation kind of dissipates it. Oh God, these guys are so attached to marks. And my master explained with so much power and excitement, and the translation is some in woman. They missed the point completely. Just listen. You listen. That's all you do. Just relax. And if the case is the case of is energy, now should be enough. Is no translation needed. All you need is a smile, or a certain look, or rolling the eye, or a scowl on the face. Okay? That's all you need. You don't need the Chan instruction. You don't need English. English is not an excuse to challenge you. Okay? These people still don't get it. You buy that? Huh? Why do you need? Chan is where the path of words end. What do you say in Chinese? 言语到断, something like that. 到断. This woman is not Chan person, clearly. Okay? So Chan instruction is that you don't need, the words. You try to express the words, but the words cannot come out. Right? But that describes the states of unenlightened people. For Master HsuanHua, it means that for enlightened people like those sages, 言语道断 means to them, means what? Means that they don't need language to teach you. You understand? Chan does not need language. The Chan instructors really don't need languages to teach you at all. It helps you, makes it easier for them, but it's not necessary. Think about that. Yeah, I give up. You guys need the words. You guys are not at the 言语道断 yet. It goes from here, I see this cursor, and go over here, it disappears. And I struggle with it every single weekend. I see it over here, I trace it back over here, and as soon as it gets over here, it disappears. Hallelujah. Okay, yeah, I just don't know how to use it. It's my fault.
那个来访那个师傅跟来访说：“哦，你来接我。去哪儿去哪儿？”然后来访说：“师傅啊，我昨天那个抓了几只老鼠。”师傅说：“没关系，带上。”带上把师傅接到，然后他们正好要路过那个金门大桥，走到有一个地点。
Yeah, I forgot now. I remember.
在这个地方停，这个地方。
The question is,
停下。
you catch a rat, what do you do? I meant to ask you that. What do you do? They carry COVID-19, most likely, and you pass it on to the park? Huh? What do you do? Animal control? It's a big dilemma. I'm asking for your opinion, for your help. I really don't know what to do. I would feel bad if I pass, if the rat passes on the diseases to my neighbor. I would really feel bad. That neighbor across the street is kind of nice. One back here also. Yes, Sabina, princess. Yes. Oh my God, she listens to me. Makes my day.
You would release it?
You wouldn't release it. You keep it as pet. Way to go. All right, I like that. Scary girl. Anyone else? What would you do? Orange. Pink.
Master, you have to take it outside of the city, away from the people.
You bring it to which city now?
Like we have a whole mountain range right here, so I'm sure you could go far enough away that it'd be safe to release the COVID-carrying rat.
Reactions. Yeah, Altadena has a lot of mountains. That's why he says, wait a minute. Yes, Pink.
You need to clear the rat first before you release it to the mountain.
You have to purify
Cure the rat.
Kill the rat?
No, cure the
Cure the
COVID-19,
rat.
Yeah, before you release.
Oh my God, this guy must be veterinarian. Okay, give it to the guy behind you. Green, yes.
Well, you said that if the COVID comes near you, you kill it. So, and if you kill the COVID, it's just killing the mark. So, would it be bad if you decided to kill the rat? Because you would just be killing its mark, not its true nature.
You really lack compassion. Oh God. We don't want to be associated with people like that. The more you practice Chan, my boy, you just got to become more compassionate, not so cruel towards rats. It's a big dilemma. If you don't kill the rat, okay, then you're not compassionate towards your neighbors. You kill the rat, you're not compassionate towards living beings. So what do you do? Yes, sir. Think.
Can rats sit in full lotus so it'll neutralize the virus and leave their body?
Way to go. Yes. I like it. You guys are so ingenious. There's no problem in this world we can't solve. Oh, God, this is the best. Anyone else? It's a tough issue. What do you do? What do you do? I have no idea. I usually tell my vice abbot, you take care of it. Why do you think we made you vice abbot? All right. Any final questions or comments? Time is up. Let's go eat lunch. Thank you all.